everyone, welcome to the channel Analytics and Beyond. Today we are going to learn on the mobile application and development. So first let us understand what is a mobile application. So it is a type of application that is designed in order to run on the mobile device, that we call it as a mobile application. So when the mobile phones were introduced, there must be some application to run. So that application we call it as a mobile application. It may be on the smartphone, or it could be a tablet or a computer. So what kind of apps they are? They are a small the apps are nothing but a small software units with limited functionalities, which manage the user to provide us quality service as well as an experience. So that we call it as a mobile application. So let us understand the history behind the mobile technology. So initially, the meaning mobile means carry wherever we go. That means a portable. That we call it as a mobile. So when it was introduced, it was just introduced to make voice calls. So later on, due to the versatility, they started in a wide range of content, like including voice recordings, music, text, videos, and images, etc. So again, further we can add as a mobile phone as a device which is portable and which makes the user to receive or send calls, receive or see anything on their phone when they are in the service area or when they move from one place to another. So coming to the history, which was the first handheld mobile phone that was demonstrated in 1973, and first it was commercially available phone that was introduced in 1983. In 1973, one handheld mobile device was introduced just for a testing purpose. In 1983, it was officially, distributed in the market. So later on, as the phone technology kept on improving, some of the companies like Android, Apple, or the BlackBerry, so what they did is they tried. So they try to provide some of the tools which makes the developer to create apps. As we have apps today, that is an applications or that we use in the phone, so they can share their apps with throughout the world through the app stores. So they started giving that. So which was the first handheld phone that was introduced by Martin Cooper of Motorola Company in 1973. Early days when it was introduced, it was used just for the radio technology. So later on they started developed it. In 1917, inventor by name Eric, he patented a small folding phone within the thin microphone. So handheld devices, when they introduced in the beginning, they were very hard. We could not fold that. So later on they developed a phone which we can fold it. So that was introduced in 1973. Similarly, some of the phones like my Motorola also introduced one, Dynatac 8000X in 1984. Then Japan was the country which was launched the first automated cellular phone network in 1979. So next we have different kinds of mobile technology with us, that we call it as an evolution. So as you know, this evolution is nothing but the generation, how the mobile phones keep on updating, like we 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. So coming back to the evolutions, like first generation system which could handle multiple calls simultaneously, but relied on analog technology. They does not use the digital technology. They use the analog technology. Analog means a signal, a kind of a technology. In 1991, the second generation phone was introduced in Finland, okay, using the GSM standard. So I'll not take much time here. I'll just move on to 2001. Japan NTT Docomo launched the third generation phone. So where we could transfer the data at a faster rate. So they increased the capacity to 3.5 and 3.5G plus based on this family. So as the demand for bandwidth keeps on increasing, like streaming, media, everything, in 2009, the 3G network overwhelmed. So as the data optimizations went, the fourth generation phone that was improved over the 3G. The first commercially available 4G technology phone was WiMAX that was introduced in North America. So here we could find as I said, in first generation, technology, there was analog cellular network, that is first generation. So where we can use a multiple call, but how the users used to communicate with that. So the connection was through the networks, and the user were able to travel with switch cells towers during the call. So that means there was a call called as a trunk call. When we want to talk to some other person who is far away, we used to book the trunk call, then we used to talk. So that is a first generation phone, and we call it as an analog phone. So after 11 years of a review, finally they granted the approval for this in order to operate the system. That was in 1977. So in first generation, analog phone was introduced. In the second generation, digital phone. So you can see in the picture, this kind of phone we call 1100. So it was introduced by in 1990s, an European GSM standard. So leading how they introduced 2G technology, they started to bring this 2G technology, whereas in 1G you can observe we can just call and communicate, whereas in 2G technology we can send the SMS, that is short message service, was introduced in 1992, which was the first computer generated SMS that was sent. And the first person was was in the Finland. So later in 1990 they saw the emergence of prepaid mobile phones, their plans, everything that was published. That was in around 1992. So next we have 3G phone, that is, it was introduced with the mobile brand broadband in 1999 by Docomo. So which was later replaced with 3G, which is launched in October 2001. And the countries were South Korea, US, UK, Italy, and adopted 3G networks in 2000s. So in 2000 they were using 3G network. How they developed is, some of the networks was being emerged, were taken from 2.5G. So during that they matched the speed with 3G technology like GPRS. Okay, the advent of 3G revolutionized the mobile phone industry, enabling widespread of mobile internet access and transmission service like TV and radio for the first time. So with the invent of this 3G technology, we could use the internet in TV as well. So by 2005, 3G evolved further, and by giving raise to 3.5 and 4G or 3G plus. So furthermore, after the 3G or 3.5G, 4G, we call it as a native IP, or 4G phones came into existence. So they become widely spread in the North America due to its high data speeds and reliability. So when the cell phone was introduced, this was a 4G phone that you can see, which is with the touch screen. Before 3G and 2G, we used to use a QWERTY keyboard for operating. Okay, there was no touch screen. So later on, due to this fourth generation phone, came up with the touch screen technology. So which was offered in North America, and some of the countries like Australia could not use it there, which is not prevalent there. But you could remember that in brief we can tell the 1G, that is the first generation phone, they were using the analog signals, just we use those phones for communication, just a voice call. Then 2G voice along with the SMS, there came a phone with a keyboard, that we call it maybe a 1100 kind of thing. Then in 3G, they try to increase the bandwidth of the phone so that we can use an access of an internet in TV or phone like that. In next 4G, they try to increase the speed even more wider, and due to that application, a touch screen came into existence. So this, if you remember, it is enough. So what are the advantages of mobile technology? Why we are using it, right? So what are the advantages? Uh, so why we are using this? That means a greater reach and visibility, better user experience. So greater reach means we can reach any kind of people within a fraction of second, and we can come to a clarification. Better user experience. So rather than using sending a text messages, voice messages, picture images, you can send it through the phone, so that we will get a better user experience. Device features, so as the devices increases, it takes an advantages. Then improve customer loyalty, generate income. So these are the advantages of the mobile technology. Due to this technology, these are the things that we can do. Similarly, for every advantages there will be its own disadvantages. Let us see what are the disadvantages here. So these are the disadvantages of using a mobile technology. Higher development cost. So when you want to develop any technology, we need to hire people, develop hardware, software cost, everything arises. So higher cost. Then longer development time. When we saw the history, we could see a drastic changes. That means it took very long period in order to make the fourth generation. Starting from 1992 to 2005, took a very long period of time in order to develop them. Low audience reaches. So when a phone is developed, it takes some time for reaching a common people. Then updates and maintenance. So mobile apps that were installed in your phone requires frequent updates. Then and we have to ensure that the devices works correctly. This will be an expensive and time consuming. Then after you update the apps, additionally we may have to test uh, whether it works properly on different operating system and different kind of devices, and we need to keep on upgrading it. So these are some of the disadvantages of the mobile technology. Yeah, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe. If you have any queries, please do comment. I'll try to answer it back. Thank you for watching.